fully followed that condition. So besides one or a few persons, all the experts and all the organizations that have delivered services and who have promoted and supported this project are organizations and individuals coming from the region. So this is essential to me. We've also applied a policy of total policy of total openness and transparency, which means that all assignments, all reports and things that we have done, things that have been ongoing, we published everything on our web page in terms of calls, and we made calls, open calls for all the things that we've done, looking for participants, looking for experts to contribute and so on. And this is essential because you cannot really promote the concept of transparency unless you apply it yourself. So this is one of the fundamental elements of the Tacso approach. We've been working trying to make the project, but more importantly, civil society visible in the region and what the civil society organizations actually produce. So the web page has been important, and now we have roughly 10 to 15,000 visits every month. And the social media as a complement is becoming more and more important. So this has been a very important component also, selling or promoting the values and the achievements of civil society. We work closely with media. We provided media training, media coaching for civil society organizations. We've created situations where media could actually meet with civil society, and civil society learn how to deal with or how to interact with media in the best possible way. We've done many other things also. In Turkey, for example, the Tacso colleagues have produced a series of radio programs, not without us, I think it's the translation, which has been broadcasted through one of the Istanbul-based radio stations, which has a regular audience of about 400,000 listeners. And altogether we produced 13 programs trying to reflect on civil society contributions and achievements, providing opportunities for a huge number of organizations in that area to really demonstrate to people what they are all about, what their agendas are and what their achievements are. We worked also with other aspects of transparency and openness in general. Moving away from media relations, we also worked with public budget funding and making public budget funding for civil society more open and more transparent. We are just about to publish now in Bosnia, based on work that has been done by one of our consortium partners, reports giving a full picture of how public budget funding is actually coming to the benefit, is being made available to civil society, and how civil society and different areas within civil society are actually benefiting and using these public funds. And I think this is very essential because it provides not only information to citizens and decision makers, but it also provides a basis for more professional follow-ups, evaluation of the contributions of civil society, which is also essential. And it provides for monitoring of the services that are delivered, be it social services or advocacy or other types of services. It is essential, and it's just one of many other pieces of information or pieces of contribution to transparency, openness, sharing of information that we've done. We're doing something similar also now in Serbia, together with, in cooperation also with the Government Office for Cooperation with Civil Society. In order to be able also to reflect on other aspects of, say, the quality of civil society outputs, we have since almost day one promoted within Tacso the voluntary application among civil society organizations of quality assurance, quality control systems. And once again, I think that Croatia has been one of the participating countries who has actually provided a number of interesting examples and lessons learned and contributed to similar processes starting in several of the other beneficiary countries. Kosovo, for example, Montenegro as another example. So this interaction has always been very, very important as an output also of the Tacso interventions, always trying to promote exchanges of information, of lessons learned. And I think it's very, very important to underline, being here in Croatia, that Croatia has not only participated as a beneficiary, but often also provided a number of valuable lessons learned from their own experience, being one of the, I dare to say, leading countries in the region in terms of developing, and we just heard that also from one of the other panelists. We heard examples of Croatia where models have been built, the institutional infrastructure has been built in such a way that we now have, I would say, an almost full-fledged system of laws and regulations and institutions providing for communication, for cooperation between governments and civil society. So this has been really a very, very valuable contribution made by the Office for Cooperation with Civil Society here in Croatia. And once more, we should thank them very, very much for, I think, receiving study visits and delegations from all the other 7 countries that have been participating in this program. And I just saw in one of the reports from Turkey that the Turkish government, as one of the examples of the impact of this work, has actually made a decision to introduce similar models and systems, institutional systems, as those being applied here in Croatia. And I mean, if that is fully implemented, I think it's a fantastic outcome of this project. Talking about sustainability, which is another very important dimension, just to give 1 or 2 more examples very briefly of what we've done. We promoted sustainability of civil society. And of course this, as all of you know, are all aware, this is an extremely broad concept. And we've made interventions in many areas that could be labeled sustainability. Once again, we can turn to Montenegro to look at what we've done in terms of promoting new legislation, research on best practice, and then promoting and facilitating new legislation in terms of social entrepreneurship. As just one of many, many examples of how we promote sustainability in the region, for civil society in the region. I cannot finish without mentioning, of course, individual capacity building. In the beginning, Tacso focused in order to establish its presence in the region as a support function. And this was part of the original strategy. We focused heavily on providing training and other types of support, capacity building support for civil society organizations, people and organizations as such. And this has been done from day one. You could perhaps say that it was downplayed a little bit during the 2nd, 3rd and 4th year of Tacso, or at least the 3rd and the 4th year of Tacso. But it has been an essential element. And altogether we've conducted about 400 different training courses within the 8 countries, which I think once again is a fantastic number, benefiting anything from 15, 30, 20 up to quite a number of organizations in each particular case. And we continue to deliver training. We are now towards the end of Tacso phase 1. We are developing models for mentoring and coaching, where, for example, in Macedonia, there is a model which has been tested, has been evaluated by external evaluators as very successful, where actually a limited number of established and well-functioning larger organizations are supporting more fragile, younger and more fragile organizations in their efforts to build their capacity, internal capacity as institutions. I'm aware I need to finish now. And really, once again, I really invite you to look at all the material that my colleagues have put together just outside here. And I'd like to thank you once again for coming here, participating in this event, and I wish us all a very good and productive 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Now I would like first to thank to some of our speakers who have to leave. Ms. Rinka Vrabec-Mojzes and Ms. Vesna Batistic-Kos, they need to leave. Before we start with the next section, expectations,